to see if it properly supports entries made in the accounting records. An auditor is engaged in vouching when examining a shipping document to see if it supports the amount of a sale recorded in the sales journal.
Okay, before we continue, what is accounting records?
Journal entries,
Journal entries
and SOPL.
Come again?
Journal entries, SOFP and SOPL.
Okay, source documents?
Like
source documents? Okay, sales invoice, purchase order. So how do you differentiate accounting records and accounting document? Anybody? Okay, source document is the input, accounting record is the output. Okay.
okay.
So this one, vouching is source document to accounting records or accounting records to source document?
Is sales record to journal? Sales record to journal.
Source document to accounting record? Anybody want to try? Just unmute your mic and feel free to speak. Vouching is from accounting record to source document or source document to accounting records? Okay, vouching is accounting records to source document. Okay, so that means you are first selecting sample of transaction from the accounting records, then you inspect the source documents. Are you clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, continue your number 3. An auditor can trace actual inventory back. Why are you using the word trace when your answer is on vouching? So are you writing on vouching or tracing?
Vouching.
So why am I saying tracing in your answer?
Should be changed to voucher.
That's why I said present in Microsoft Word easier to see. Okay. Anyway, so give me an example of vouching. Yes, audit procedures for vouching. If no answer from you, no answer from me. Okay? Yes?
An auditor is engaged in vouching.
Sorry?
When an auditor is engaged in vouching, that's meaning a shipping document.
Can you write the full proper sentence on vouching? I think I have showed the example of answer during the lecture, how to write a proper vouching sentence.
It's quite fully, is it?
When engaged in vouching, an auditor is looking for any errors in the amount recorded in the accounting records, as well as assuring that the transaction...
This is not procedure. Procedure means what are you looking at? What document? Give example. You are writing grandmother stories not relevant to the question. Okay, what is the objective? What is the purpose of vouching? Okay, whether recorded correctly, supported by evidence, all this is fine, okay? Whether the documentary evidence is authentic, verify whether they are free from errors and fraud, okay? This is fine, but give me example of procedures.
Vouching from sale ledger to sell invoice.
Anybody has any answer? Anybody want to try? Okay, so you may write for selected sample of sales transaction from the sales ledger, vouch to the sales invoices and goods delivery note to ensure the transaction had occurred.
Please, can you repeat again?
From the selected sample of sales transaction from the sales ledger, comma, vouch to the sales invoice and goods delivery note to ensure the transaction had taken place. Goods delivery note. Can anybody correct her answer? She hear everything wrongly. For selected sample of sales transaction from the sales ledger, watch to the sales invoice and the goods delivery note. To ensure occurrence or to ensure the sales transaction had taken place. So if you see in my sentence, the first is accounting records. Sales ledger is accounting records, and then we are referring to source document, which are sales invoice and goods delivery note. This is how you are supposed to write procedure. You can write related to purchases, related to cash and bank, anything up to you. Fine. Okay, let's move on to tracing.
Tracing is the process of following a transaction in the accounting records back to the source document. It involves locating an item in the general ledger, tracing it back to a subsidiary ledger. It is to look for the unique identifying document number and then going to the accounting file to locate the source document. Tracing is used to track down transaction errors and also by auditors to verify that transactions were recorded properly. Auditors use tracing on a sampling basis where the results obtained are assumed to apply to the entire population of transactions.
Okay, what is the objective? What is the assertion? So the answer is the third one. It is important in testing the completeness and accuracy of the assertion. Okay. Can you show us the procedure?
Completeness assertion is to determine whether all transactions and events that should be recorded are recorded.
I'm asking for example of procedures. Remember just now I gave you example for vouching. That is example. You must learn to differentiate between example and explanation. Okay?
Select an example of customer orders.
Can you type? I can't hear your voice clearly, so you have to type. நடுவுல கோடு கிழிச்சிரு அப்பதான் ஒழுக்கம் வரும். Too soft. Oh, okay.
The procedure is select a sample of customer orders, dispatch notes and sales invoice, and trace the posting to the sales account in the general ledger.
What is the purpose?
To ensure the transaction record is complete,
Hold on, hold on, please. Okay, so when you are writing, it is not for existence, not for rights and obligations. Tracing is not for rights and obligation. You see, you are looking at the documents to and trace to the sales ledger, not to confirm existence. If you want to look at existence, you will need to physically inspect the item. Asset. And then rights and obligation is for, you will need to look at the company's name on the source document. So here we are not looking at rights and obligation. What is the purpose? What is the objective of tracing? Can you highlight on top your third paragraph? Your third is to test completeness. So the main thing is completeness. Not even accuracy. It is only to test completeness. Completeness means whether the transaction have been recorded or not. We have the documents, we want to know whether the accountant have recorded the document into the accounting system. That is what we are looking for. Can you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what is the purpose of your last procedure? So select a sample of customer order, dispatch note and sales invoice, trace to the posting to the sales ledger. To the sales ledger, better use the word sales ledger. To the sales ledger to ensure the transaction have been completely recorded. To ensure the transaction have been completely recorded. Okay. So you wrote that to confirm existence and rights, delete that. That's why I said use Microsoft Word easier, okay?
Okay.
Can you edit your answer now? Okay, next. 3 examples. Can you copy and paste this into Microsoft Word quickly?
Okay.
you get ready, okay, can we have the presenter to present another question form? Meanwhile, we get give her time to get ready.
Miss, can you see my screen?
Please make it full screen. Okay, nice. Okay, examples of audit procedures for watching. Okay, please make it bigger.
Can you see now? Question 3. Provide 3 examples audit procedures involving watching and tracing for each of the following account cycles. I'm going to discuss the part for bank transaction. For auditor, first is assistance. Auditor needs to test the assertion of assistant to ensure that the cash is actually assistant and belong to the company at a given date or at the year end. The example of procedure is such as agree balance on bank confirmation with bank reconciliation and cash flow.
So is that watching or tracing? The first one.
Which one?
The first one, yes. Is that watching or tracing? You see, you must learn to read the sentence carefully. Provide 3 examples. So you need to provide 3 audit procedures involving vouching and tracing. 3 examples for vouching, 3 examples for tracing for each of the following account, which is bank and PTT. So in total, you will have 12. Okay. Procedures. Can understand?
Yes.
Because vouching is different, tracing is different. So now your first procedure, agree balance on bank confirmation with the reconciliation and cash flow. Is this vouching or tracing?
Tracing.
Tracing. Are you going from source document to accounting records or accounting records to source document? What is your accounting record here? What is your accounting record?
Cash flow. Bank reconciliation and cash flow.
That is accounting record. Source document?
Bank confirmation.
Okay. So is this vouching or tracing?
Watching.
Okay. First one is vouching. Second one, trade deposits in transit and outstanding checks and other reconciling items. Where's your procedure? Your second one, where's your procedure?
Trade deposits.
Trade deposit is not a procedure. Trade deposit is a deposit. Procedure means you are doing something. What are you doing? Your second procedure, what are you doing? The first procedure, you agree. Agree is a procedure. I don't see any procedure in your second. Second one, you are only writing a lot of documents. Trade deposit in transit is what? It's a document or what? It's an item. It is an item, not the procedure. Next, outstanding checks. Outstanding check is also item. It is not document. And other reconciling item to cut off bank statement. It is not even a procedure. I don't know what you wrote there. So the second one, strike off. Third one, agree balance on bank confirmation with bank reconciliation and cash book. Okay. Isn't it same as your first one?
Same.
So you only have one procedure. Let's look at completeness.
Completeness is to ensure there's no unrecorded cash.
No,
for example, trace a sample of remittance advices and pay in slip to cash receipt journal.
The question is asking for audit procedures, right? So you can straight away read the procedures. Trace you are doing now is what? Tracing or vouching? The question clearly states tracing and vouching, right?
Yes.
So you must write tracing and vouching. I'm not interested to know whether to ensure unrecorded cash. All this is not relevant to the question. Trace a sample of remittance advice and pay in slip to cash receipt journal. What is cash receipt journal? What is cash receipt journal? Okay, what is remittance advice? What is remittance advice? I can't hear you. Are you talking, Hoi?
Receipt of evidence.
What is remittance advice? I've never come across this. I mean, I know, but I want to ask you, do you really know what is the meaning?
Not really.
Sorry?
Not really.
Okay, so the first, okay, at least can you identify for me what are the source document and which is the accounting record here?
Source document is remittance advice and pay in slip. Then accounting records is receipt journal, a cash receipt journal.
Cash receipt journal is accounting record. Is it same as cash flow?
Yes.
Then why didn't you use cash book? And what is the purpose for tracing the remittance advice and pay in slip? Remittance advice for which transaction?
Sales.
So can you write properly like just how I explained to you for the previous example of vouching and tracing, right? You must select sample of what to what and for what purpose. I think the first example is going to be complicated because you haven't selected which account. Which item in the SOFP or SOPL are you referring to first of all? Which item?
SOPL.
So what is the item in the SOPL? Can we cancel the first answer? I don't want to take long time discussing things which you yourself don't know, okay? Second one, trace a sample of payment voucher with supporting document to cash book. Okay, what is the supporting documents here? Trace a sample of payment vouchers with the probably invoices, but you are writing for which now? PPE or cash and bank balance? I think I've given you two accounts, right, in the question. You are now doing question 3 or question 2?
Question 3 in the
Question 3, I have given you bank transaction and PPE, right? Okay, trace a sample of payment voucher with the cash book. Okay, scroll down. Scroll down. Hui, can you hear me or not? I want to see all your answers. Your answer seems to be wrong. Can you scroll down? I want to see all the answers. Can you share? Put my name inside the document.
Miss, your email.
You type my name, it will come out. Please stop sharing. Hui, when I ask question, you better answer. I will not wait. I want to hear your voice. Are you clear? When you are writing procedure, you need to refer to this slide which I have given. You see, for vouching and tracing, they comes under inspection. Because vouching and tracing means you are looking at documents and source, you are looking at source documents and accounting records. So it will only be procedures related to inspection. You understand?
Yes.
So when we are talking, I'm not interested about all this. When you are writing procedure, it should be purely procedure. This is not diploma, you write all this theory. I'm not interested in theory. Okay, agree balance on bank confirmation, reply to the bank reconciliation statement. Bank reconciliation is not a document. You need to put the word statement, then it will be a document. Bank statement reconciliation and cash book to ensure the bank balances matches. Okay. That means this is related to accuracy indirectly. Second, trace a sample of payment vouchers and the related invoices to the bank ledger to ensure the payment have been recorded completely. So what this means is your source document is payment vouchers and the related invoices. You see, I use the word invoices. When you are making payment, you will need to create a document called payment voucher. The payment voucher, you will write making payment to Ali Sendran Berhad 500 ringgit. Behind that document, you need to attach the invoices to show the value is 500 ringgit. So we are selecting our source document and we are tracing back to the bank ledger to ensure the company have recorded the payment correctly. Okay. This one is same as previous. Next, discard off all no need. Compare the dates of recording on sample of cash transactions with the dates on cash deposited in bank and check sent. Okay, what is the accounting record and what is the source document here? What is the accounting document?
Cash transaction source document is cash deposited in bank or check sent.
Sorry?
Source document is the check sent or cash deposited in bank, and the accounting record is
cash is not your source document. Source document are those which you file in. Do you file in your cash into the file? Do you put hold on your cash banknote and put it in the file?
No.
Checks and cash are not source documents. So what is the source document here?
Cash transactions.
Cash transaction is not source document. Transaction is transaction. Documents is different. Documents are inputs. Who is playing with this? Stop touching this Microsoft Word. Stop editing, because I'm here. Don't move the screen. So where was I? Cash transaction is different. Transaction is not same as documents. Source documents are those documents that you use to enter the debit credit transaction into the accounting system. Okay, this is not a procedure. Trace bank transfer for the last week of the financial year under review and first week of the following year for proper cut-off. So what is your source document? What is your accounting records?
Source document receipt.
I don't see any source document here. Where is your accounting records? There is none here. Okay, let's look at PPE. Reconcile and compare. You are not going to do reconciliation. Reconciliation will be done by the accountant. Because auditor, we are reconciliation is the accountant's job. It is part of preparation of financial statement. If you want to reconcile, or from auditor side, you may want to re-perform the reconciliation. You have to use the word re-perform the reconciliation. Okay. So again, in this case, this is not vouching, this is not tracing also. Select a sample of PPE item that physically exists and then do what? Select a sample of PPE item that physically exists and trace to the non-current asset register to ensure the asset have been recorded in the Full stop. Because you already used the word non-current register. So non-current asset register is the accounting records. The physical PPE item is the, in this case, the source documents. Because if you refer to the source document, you see here I've given you few examples. You can inspect the asset also you can go for watching and tracing. Trace the selected items to the PPE register. What is the selected items? Vouching and tracing, you must have the source document and accounting records. Okay? You watch this week's lecture video, you can see what are the vouching and tracing for sales. All the answers are inside there. Okay? Next, when we perform the PPE audit, okay, I'm not interested in all this. Okay, select sample of PPE register and then do what? After select, do what? Perform physical inspection on selected item. Sentence incomplete sentence. Valuation. So where is your procedure for valuation? Test depreciation in the audit. How is it relevant to vouching and tracing? Review the client's depreciation method to evaluate whether in accordance with the applicable accounting standard. This is not vouching. What is your source document? What is your accounting records? Examine useful life of PPE to evaluate whether client's estimate is reasonable by comparing with industry standard. What is the accounting record? What is the source document? You see? You see here, this picture. This is tracing. Tracing is from source document to ledger or journal. And from ledger to ledger or source document, sorry, from ledger to or journal to the source document will be vouching. So you will need to write the procedure accordingly. When you are writing procedure related to vouching and tracing, you need to show me your accounting documents. Okay, are you clear? Perform recalculation of depreciation. Where is the source document? Where is the accounting records? Compare the results of recalculation. Where is the source document? Where is the accounting records? Can you understand?
Yes.
If you go and watch later this week's lecture, I show you an example of my procedures. Substantive procedures for sales. You can find the answer in the lecture notes. You see here, inspect total amount on the sales invoice. Sales invoice is the source document to ensure they agree with the amount posted in general sales ledger. So sales ledger is the accounting record. Okay. So if you, I have discussed this in detail in the recording lecture. So you will need to refer to that. And Xiang Yuan asked, audit procedure not referring to this. Syria, it refers to this. But what happens is the question here is on three examples. Okay. involving vouching and tracing. So you need to read the question carefully. So 3 procedures for vouching, 3 procedures for tracing for each of the following account cycle. I am relating to bank transaction and PPE. 3 procedure for bank transaction, vouching, 3 tracing, 3 vouching, 3 tracing. So total you will have 12. Do you understand? Okay, so far clear? Any question? Okay, if no, we will proceed to the 4th question. So next week, okay, did anybody else prepare the answer you want to share? I can edit for you. I don't give any tutorial answer. That's why if many of you all have prepared, then I can see the effort that many of you all are trying to do your best, then I will type the answer for you all. Okay, question 3, examples of audit procedures. Okay, is this what you are referring to? Am I looking at the correct one? Somebody posted here, Jan. Okay. Janway, can you hear me?
Yes.
You wanted me to check this one?
Yeah, because we thought that the question is asking for 3 procedure, not 3 vouching and tracing.
You see here vouching and tracing?
Yes, but maybe
Audit procedures involving vouching and tracing.
So isn't it that we need to provide 3 procedure and each procedure need 1 vouching and 1 tracing?
No. You misunderstood the question. That's why I must read the question carefully. Okay, so your first one here is all definition, right? Or is there
Yes.
procedure here?
Procedure. We thought this one is the procedure. Yeah.
Inspection of records and process of gathering evidence, examining. This is definition. Type of audit procedures are done to vouch. You see, okay, I am asking you, give me a name of, or give me example of fruits which are green in color. Can you give me an example, green in color, Janway?
Apple.
Apple, some more? Pear is also green in color. Durian also green in color.
Okay, whatever.
I mean the cover outside. So that's how we look at the fruit color. So you are supposed to give that kind of example. Apple, durian, pear. But what you are doing is you are describing. You are actually saying that those fruits which are green in color, they usually grow on trees. They are tasty. They are nice to eat. So you are giving explanation which is not relevant to the question. Question is on examples. Do you get me?
Yes, I see.
Okay. So for example, an auditor may use inspection procedure to test the occurrence, assertion, expenses shown on the by vouching them to receive report supplier invoice. So what is the source document? What is the accounting records?
The source document is vouching and the invoice.
I give you an example for vouching. So you look at this. For vouching, example for selected sample of cash payment in the bank ledger, vouch to the purchase or expenses invoice and goods delivery note to ensure the transaction had taken place. Okay, vouching is for occurrence. Or you want to ensure the transaction had taken place, or to ensure the amount recorded was correct. Okay, you can write all these things. You refer to this week's lecture. I have explained very clearly. For tracing, what we do is we take the same thing, copy here, we paste, but the only difference is for tracing is we go from source document to the accounting records. Okay. For selected sample of expenses invoice and goods delivery note, trace to the cash payment in the bank ledger to ensure the transaction had been recorded completely, or you want to say to ensure the transaction was recorded in the correct accounting period. So far clear? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so when we are looking these purchase or expenses invoice, these are the source documents. Clear? The accounting record here is the bank ledger. The bank ledger is the accounting record. What is the purpose? To ensure the transaction took place. So this is occurrence. Instead of writing occurrence, you should write this. And next one, to ensure the amount was recorded correctly, this is accuracy. So that's why if you look at the vouching for vouching from ledger to source document is to ensure occurrence. From source document to ledger is tracing. Tracing is to ensure completeness. There are few objectives. Not only occurrence and completeness, but there are few others also. Okay. So this is the assertion. Are you clear now?
Yeah.
Next, for selected sample of expenses, invoice and goods delivery note. So these are source documents and we are tracing to the cash payment in the bank ledger. Bank ledger is the accounting records. Why? To ensure the transaction have been recorded completely. So recorded completely means completeness. Okay. This is how you are supposed to interpret. Of course, this comes through practice. Okay, so that's why you must, if the question asks for 5 answers, it's tutorial, right? Why don't you present 6 or 7? So that I can check and I can give you answer. To ensure transaction was recorded in the correct accounting period. This is related to cut-off. Is this clear? Clear?
Clear.
So I want to see, when I said vouching tracing you can only use for inspection of document. Okay. So for bank transaction, inspection procedure to test occurrence shown on the bank transaction. You see, the sentence structure is not proper. You may inquire the client to verify the bank transaction. This is wrong procedure. We only inquire to ask something where we really don't know. The information is not in the invoice, then we inquire. If the information is not given in the SOFA, SOPL. If you have the information, it's just that you don't know where to find, then that is not inquiry. Inquiry is something you want to know, but it is not provided to you. For example, you may want to inquire the finance director, did they close any bank accounts during the year? Was there any new bank accounts open? So this kind of information you cannot find from the SOFA, SOPL. So you have to inquire. Can understand? So in this case, all your procedure must relate to vouching and tracing. So I don't see vouching and tracing here. You see, all these are explanation. Does not include intangible asset, rights and obligation, personally visit, observe. These are not procedures. This is procedure, but what is the source document? Vouching and tracing means you are checking against each other. Recalculate is a procedure, but it is not related to vouching and tracing. Because vouching, you see, tracing refers to first select transaction and then follow it into the journal or ledger. So basically, you are not recalculating, you are not performing, you are not inquiring. You are checking from one source to another source. Are you clear? Vouching refers to select an item from the ledger or journal, then examine back to the source document. So that's why I've been asking, where's your source document, where is your ledger? So when you are reading question, read carefully. Of course, I asked for 3 audit procedures. You see here, vouching, tracing. When it comes to recalculation doesn't fall into vouching and tracing. Are you clear? Don't be stressed. Are you clear? Okay. Okay, let's quickly look into this question. Can you quickly present? Then we play Kahoot. I think we play Kahoot first because you all are very blur. So the next question, we will see if we have time, we will go through it. Or else we will do it next week. Okay?
Okay.
Janway, we read carefully, but just don't understand. This is common lah. That's why you say, that's why you see, I want to see your effort. You see, just now somebody presented all wrong. Nobody give comment, nobody ask any question. Then next, when Janway share the screen, then share the link, then I know you all are putting in effort. So I went in and typed the answer for you, just for one sample. So actually the answer, you can find it from this lecture. This week lecture under the substantive procedures for sales. And also cash and bank balances in the lecture notes. Okay, don't be stressed. You will need to understand things. Okay. Let's play Kahoot. So you need to have 2 devices. The game pin is being loaded. I want you to understand this concept assertions very clearly. If you don't understand, you will struggle.
Dummy.
Can you all type your correct name? All this I'm rejecting. Type your correct name quickly. Type your full name. You will not lose anything, right? Type your full name or else your last two name. Quick. Okay, let me see number of students. We have 50. Okay, Ken? Okay, I will start now. So those who are joining late, I will like put the number here. You can refer to that. Okay, this is related to assertion. Okay, the machine is still in use, so this is related to existence. We are looking at the physical machine. Okay, existence. The machine is missing. It is no longer physically. It is not there. Sorry, the inventory is not there, but in the accounting record, it is still there. So this is existence. So payables record, that means trade payables ledger is lesser than the supplier statement. That means that could be omission. The accountant may have forgot to record some of the documents or transactions. Okay, maintenance is repair and maintenance expenses, but they go and capitalize. So it is related to classification. Okay, selling price is wrongly used. We are looking at the assertion. Cut off means recording the transaction at the wrong accounting period. Completeness means not recording the transaction at all. Completeness and cut off. Okay. That means not recorded means understated. Okay. Okay, wrongly posted accuracy. Okay, cut off because they are recording the following year transaction into current year, recording wrongly. Okay, debts are not collectible, irrecoverable. So we are looking at valuation. Okay. As at the year end, the assets of the business are charged to the bank. So rights and obligation. Okay, presentation and classification. Because raw material, you will need to specify raw material, finished goods, and work in progress. Okay, depreciation is for valuation. Okay, asset liability transaction not understated valuation. Okay, ownership is wrong answer. Wow, majority ownership. Rights and obligation is the assertion. Assertion is rights and obligation. This question is on assertion. Huh? Okay, completeness. Okay, current year transaction not taken up. So omitted lah, understated. $38 existence. Okay, completeness. This is similar like previously, understated because the ledger is less than the supplier statement. Okay, assets depreciated at inappropriate different than the industry rate, so valuation. Last one. Technical jargons are used. Technical jargons are those terms, very fantastic, bombastic terms. In accounting, you are supposed to use simple terms where layman can understand. So this answer, classification, is also correct. The green classification is just that I forgot to do the setting up. Okay. Any question? So far clear? You need to understand the basic concept. You need to have the very strong knowledge of that. But don't worry, as we practice, you will get it. But the main thing is you must put in effort. If you don't put in effort, very difficult for me to help you. Okay, Chairman Teng. Quickly say yes, I'm marking attendance. Chairman Teng.
Yes, miss.
Chok Zutung.
Yes, miss.
Cindy.
Yes, miss.
Tan Sin Jie.
Yes, miss.
Al.
Yes, miss.
Li Hui Yi.
Yes, miss.
Yowelna.
Yes, miss.
Lolot.
Yes, miss.
Jiachi.
Yes, miss.
Pan Yi Lung.
Yes, miss.
Xiao Hui.
Yes, miss.
Phoebe.
Yes, miss.
Pong Meng.
Yes, miss.
Raz.
Yes, miss.
Si Wei Chong. Kah Lok.
Yes, miss.
Yok Wan.
Yes, miss.
Li Hui.
Yes, miss.
Yo Jun Hao.
Yes, miss.
Si Wei Chong. Chen Man.
Yes, miss.
Xin Yi. Xin Yi.
Yes, miss.
Yap Pui Ling.
Yes, miss.
Nin.
Yes, miss.
Li Xuan.
Yes, miss.
Okay, the others, those replacing, please give your name to class rep. Class rep, please WhatsApp me the full name list because I cannot take attendance for now because your class is scheduled at some other days. Okay. Any question? Anybody?